Hello friends, welcome to my channel. In this tutorial, we will understand the new privacy feature in Android 11, that is permission auto reset from unused app. In previous tutorial, we have learned about the one-time permissions privacy feature in Android 11. So if you have not gone through that tutorial, request you to please go ahead and watch it. I will provide the link into description. This tutorial is targeted to privacy feature permission auto reset from unused apps. So let's get started and understand it. If our apps target Android 11 and if it isn't used for a few months, the system protects user data by automatically resetting the sensitive runtime permissions that the user had granted to our application. So this means auto reset is only applicable if our application isn't used for few months and we have requested for sensitive features which impacts on users privacy. Okay, the system resets only runtime permission, which are the permissions that display a runtime prompt to the user when requested. For example, location access permission. So point to remember here is system only resets only runtime permissions. This change takes effects only if our app targets Android 11. So if our app is running on lower versions of Android like Android 10 or Android 9, then we don't have to worry about this feature. Now the question is how the users will know that they have unused apps on their devices and system has revoked permissions from those apps. And for this, Android system sends the notification to the users which will look like the one on your screen, wherein it clearly says permissions removed for unused apps, and whenever user taps on this notification, they will go into the settings page wherein they can see all the unused apps for which Android system has revoked the runtime sensitive permission. From that page, users can also delete the unused apps if they wish to do so. Okay, so this is the screen wherein users can see all the unused apps for which the permissions are removed, and if they wish to delete those apps, they can uninstall them. Okay, so now we know what is meant by permission auto reset and its internals. Okay, but the question here is, can we disable this feature for our apps? And good news is yes, we can. So let's go ahead and understand how we can disable it. First thing to remember here is, as a developer, we cannot do it, and we have to ask users for the apps, users of the applications to disable the auto reset feature. Users can avoid this auto reset of the permission by turning off the option called remove permissions if the app isn't used option available in the app specific permission settings. So that means we have an option to disable it in app permission settings. If required, we can ask the user to prevent the system from resetting our app's permission. This feature is useful in a situation wherein user expect our application to run in the background even without user interacting with our application. The apps like safety applications or the ones which communicate with the smart devices fall under this category. To disable the application, user has to go into app permission settings screen, and from there they can turn off the option called remove permission if app isn't used. So now let's check this in our Android 11 emulator. I will quickly go into our Android 11 emulator, and I will go into our Google Maps app settings. I will go into the permissions, and here at the bottom of the screen we have the option to disable the permission called as remove permission if app isn't used. And whenever we disable this option, the permissions for our applications will not be auto reset. Now the question is, how can we do this programmatically? As mentioned earlier, as a developer we cannot disable it, so we need a way to take user programmatically on this screen, right? And in order to programmatically take user into this screen, we have to go use the intent action called action auto revoke permissions. Once we use this action, Android will give us the system dialog wherein users can go into the app specific permission settings to disable permission auto reset. Okay, so this is okay, and this is the settings to disable it. We have already seen this. Now let's go ahead and understand how we can programmatically check if auto reset is disabled or not. And good news is Android has already provided an API for that. To check whether auto reset functionality is disabled for our app, call isAutoRevokeWhitelisted. This method is available inside a package manager class. If this method returns true, then the system does not auto reset our app's permission. That means that option is disabled inside a settings. In code, you need to use this method like below. Like we have to call this on package manager dot is auto revoke whitelisted, which, and as this method is part of Android R, we need to apply the version check that as shown on the screen. One important note here is, if we are following the permission based practices, then we don't have to worry about this change, and those best practices will take care of this. That means this permission auto reset will not have any impact if we are already following the permission best practices. So this is all about the permission auto reset from unused apps. And with this, we are at the end of this tutorial. See you guys in the next tutorial, wherein we will understand the next feature, that is permission dialog visibility. Till the time, if you have any questions, suggestion, please post them into comments. I will answer them at earliest. And if you have learned something new, please press the like button and subscribe to the channel. Thank you.